All right, we are live. We are live. Welcome in tonight. Welcome in tonight. We are live. Let's get this thing going. I'm getting myself, make sure I'm good to go here. Glad that you are good tonight. Come on in. Let's tap in. Let's see what's going on this Monday evening. Let's see here. Let me get myself shared and good to go here. Right. Let's see here. Welcome. Welcome for sure. Welcome in tonight. There we go. Welcome in tonight. As you're coming in tonight, definitely say what's up. Let me know how you're doing today. Right. Wendell, great evening to you as well. I hope you and Michelle are doing well this evening. I'm glad you are here. I'm glad you are here. Wifey in the building. Wifey in the building. Happy Valentine's Day to you all. Happy Max Monday to you for sure. Uh, Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Shouting you all out. We're gonna get into this thing in just a moment here. Let me know how your day has been so far. How is your build? How's your day been? Jocelyn, what's going on? I heard those kids of yours are doing really good. I saw the photo of, I believe it's your son you posted, doing great with football. So that was absolutely incredible. Jamie, glad you are here and tuned in, tapped in. I just saw your text was sent to me, so I definitely have you in my prayers as well, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Y'all come on in, come on in. Let me get this shared to my page as well. If you're on Facebook, hey, go ahead, take a moment, share it to your page. If you're on YouTube, you can share this link with somebody else. Just tap the share button, copy link, and you can text the link to anybody from that standpoint. All right. What's up, Ricky? You can text somebody from that standpoint. All right. And so while I'm saying that, let me go ahead and share this to my page here as well. Give me just a moment here. Let me get this shared to my page. As you're coming in, say what's up. Let me make sure I'm good on the comments. Yep. Say what's up as you're coming in so I can show y'all some major love. All right. Listen, tonight, Max Monday, it's gonna be good, y'all. It's gonna be good. Give me. I'm getting mine tapped in too. I'm getting mine tapped in too to make sure I can share this properly. There we go. All right. Give me one. Put my caption on here. All things relationships. As you're sharing this, do me a favor. Um, as you're sharing this, let me know once you've shared it. As we share, as we post, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff, it always increases the viewership for other people to see. While you're sharing, make sure you also go ahead and like the video. We want to get this in front of as many people as possible. This is our episode 2 of Max Monday. And tonight, in just a few moments, I'm going to be bringing on a special guest. She's incredible, and we're going to chop it up tonight. Have a great combo in a moment here as well. And so, yes, welcome in to Max Monday. Yes, what's up? What's up? Good to see your names all the way. Yes, yes. And so let's do this without further ado. Let's have no delay because we're going to need this entire time period for tonight for this conversation. And so let's not waste any time. Let me go ahead and bring her in. Can we please bring into the space and y'all show her much love? I want to bring in Dr. Portia Bailey into the stream. What's up, ma'am?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm good. Yes,
Are you ready for tonight?
I am. Are you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
I already know in advance. I go ahead and say this in advance. This is going to be one of the best things we've ever done. I can feel the impact of it already, for sure, for
I
sure.
received that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so let's not delay. Let's get right into it. Can you just share a little bit about yourself, what you do? That way, everyone is aware of who you are as well.
Okay. I think I can even do a little bit more than that. So,
I like it.
all right. So I am, well, Dr. Portia Bailey. I am a podiatrist or foot and ankle surgeon. I'm actually subspecialized in lower extremity peripheral nerve issues. Any issues in the lower extremity of the nerves, I am your woman. I am from Warner Robins, Georgia, and I actually went to high school with Pastor Alex.
Absolutely,
Back when you wouldn't know that he would be a pastor or I would have been a physician. So,
definitely,
so we go way back.
absolutely,
Um, but I am single. Never been married, no kids, and excited about the possibility of love and the right relationship.
absolutely. That's so good. Can y'all just hop in the chat? Y'all show her love. I'm telling you, you're gonna want to share this in advance. Let's show her some major love in the chat. We're gonna hop into this tonight. All things relationship. So let's get right into this. Let's get right into this tonight. And so tonight, you all are going to just get an inside scoop into what we've already been talking about already. And so I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out off the top. Is it okay if I just call you Portia tonight? Is that okay?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, cool, cool. Let me because I want this to feel as casual as possible for everybody who's tuning in tonight. What can I ask you this? What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about being in a relationship?
Being in a relationship, having a partner, having someone that you can do life with,
Yeah,
someone that you just want to share. It could even be the most mundane, trivial thing, but you want to share that, with someone. A partner in life is what I think of when I think of a relationship, a life partner.
a life partner. No, absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. Is there anything just off the top? And you're in the comments tonight, you can ask us anything, right? And so drop your questions in as well. Is there anything off the top that you would just love to ask at the top of this combo? Anything about that comes to mind for you?
Yes, breaking into it. You're married. I aspire to be married one day. So I want to hear what's you and Leah's story. How did you guys meet? What's your love story?
Yeah. So Leah and I went to college together. It's called Georgia College State University in Millersville, about 30 outside of Macon. And so when I arrived at the school, I was a sophomore. I think she may have been a junior or a senior. I can't recall which one. So check this out, Portia. So I see her. I
Okay.
see her in the dining hall type area, and this
Mhm.
is crazy. So I'm sitting there, and you know how is it in college? You're sitting there with all your boys, y'all hanging out, kind of wild a little bit or whatever. She
Yeah.
walks in with one of her friends, right? I can't make this up. I turned over to a friend of mine. I had no idea who she was. And I
Mhm.
saw her and I was like, whoa. I said, who is that?
Mhm.
All these people in the room, right? It was something about I said, whoa, who is that? And a partner of mine had told me who she is. And so
Mhm.
it was crazy. Within 20 minutes, and she walks in and goes to get her food or whatever. I told a partner of mine, I said, man, I'm gonna marry that woman. I'm gonna marry her.
Really?
Right. And I'm just, and they're all like,
Wow.
whatever, man. You always saying something crazy with it. I was like, nah, I'm for real. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know anything. Right. And so
Mhm.
it was like one of those things where like I saw her and you just wanted to know more about somebody. It was one of those things. And so we didn't date. We didn't talk any of that in college. My wife is very professional. She's very
Mhm.
mission minded. Even back then, we were much younger, and so
Yeah.
she wasn't giving me no time of day. No lie, she was not. I was trying. She wasn't hearing it. I
Yeah.
was gonna come by her apartment, holler at her. She was not hearing it like at all. And so She left. She graduated. She went on to UGA, got her master's degree. But we were just friends, and so we didn't actually link up
Mhm.
until what 10 years later. Via
Really?
Facebook. Crazy. Via
No way.
via Facebook. I sent her a Facebook message. I saw her on there. Sent her a Facebook message. The rest is history.
Wow. I did
Yeah,
not know that.
yeah, yep.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I am even though the stock is going down, I'm very thankful for Facebook.
Right. Let's give it up for Facebook.
Absolutely, that's our story. That's our story.
That is
Absolutely,
beautiful. Wow.
yeah, yeah. It's been a very interesting ride. Like anytime you can grow with somebody, you're learning somebody. It's one
Mhm.
of those things where you never fully have the other person figured out. You know, but it's just your commitment to God first, and then a commitment to the relationship itself is
Yeah,
is a game changer.
that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Since
yeah.
we're still kind of, I don't want to move on because I really love you guys' story. I want to know, like, back when you all were dating, what was like the best memory, one of your dates, and what made it the best? What it made it so fun?
Ooh, yeah. So I'm naturally I don't like crowds, but I like to
Okay.
talk. Right. So we were on our first or second day. I forget which one it was now. And so we're dating, right? And we're sitting at this restaurant. We're talking, and the waitress, it's crazy. Portia, the waitress comes over, and I started talking to her about, just asking her a question about who she was.
Hmm.
This lady ends up sitting down at the table with us and just like
Wow.
pouring out her life story. The woman did not. I'm like, aren't you work? She's not leave. She stayed there, and the whole time Leah is looking at me like, is this really happening? I'm looking at her like, is this? I don't know. Is this really happening? And so
Yeah.
since then, we had this ongoing thing. Now we're like, we'll just be out somewhere, and it happens to us all the time. Where people would just come over and just want to stay, and like
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy how it works, but like for us, it's gonna be an ongoing thing of like we already know somebody gonna pull up, somebody's gonna want to talk.
People are drawn to y'all.
That's it. That,
That's awesome, though.
that's it. And so for us, like that part of dating was always fun, just to know, hey, what can happen next, type deal. So
Yeah.
it was always cool. It was always cool. And I tell you though, I have a question for you in that same arena. Right?
Okay.
That same arena, right? I like that. So that was 11 years ago. Her and I got married 11 years ago.
Okay.
Is when it comes to dating, how different is dating now than it was, say, 5 years ago? Is there a big difference there? Like, what's your thoughts around that?
Okay, I do have some thoughts about it. But until recently, I would say dating was about the same. But once the pandemic hit and you can't go anywhere, you were kind of dependent on somebody messaging you or sliding in your DMs to meet someone because, I mean, are they going to knock on your door? You're not going anywhere. So that has changed. I was a person who, at first, I was not open to, you know, online dating, I'll say. But now I had to be more open because it's like, I'm not going anywhere. If I get sick, I can't work. I can't help other people. So I try to minimize, outside contact as much as possible. So I'm not going anywhere. Where would I meet someone? So for me, I had to adjust to being open to meeting someone online.
I so share with me, like, and for those listening, what does that look like? Is that like the normal Instagram, Facebook? Is that online dating sites? Like, how's all that look?
For me, it's your social media platforms. For me, I've never created an online dating site. What is it called? Profile. Yeah, I haven't created a profile before, but it would just be someone seeing my page on Facebook or seeing my page on Instagram and shooting me a message.
Got it.
Hmm.
Got it. Okay, so given that, so you are young, we're young,
Hmm.
professionals,
Yes.
know what you want.
Hmm.
What does what does he need to bring to the table to get your attention?
Ooh. And this came with experience because if you asked me this a couple years ago, this may not have been my answer. But I like a man who's intentional, who also knows what he wants and is not afraid to tell me what it is that he wants. It's cool to act like you don't care, and act like we're just friends, even though you might be feeling me. I don't want that anymore. I don't want the game. I want you to be straightforward. What are you looking for? What do you want? And we can see if we have any similarities in that regard. And that way we don't waste each other's time. So that's what I'm looking for. Someone, a man who knows what he wants and is not afraid to let me
That's big. I think it's amazing. And fellas, I hope y'all are listening. Or we give you the game, right? Like if you want to get inside a woman's mind, you're hearing it right now. So I think it's amazing. You said the word intentional at the outset. Like for him
know.
to be intentional. That's okay. Why is that? And you could have spoken to it a little bit already, but why is that so important for him to be intentional?
Um, Being a woman of a certain age, that's how I'll put it. I know that I'm not going to say it that way. I am a wife. I am a mother.
There you
So
go.
I know that is what I want. And with you being intentional, you can let me know within our first conversation if you're open to that. If you're not, that's fine. That's not the purpose that you were supposed to serve in my life. And that's cool. But that way we don't waste anyone's time and we don't have to worry about someone being misled or whatever the case may be. We're upfront and we're intentional.
That's good. That's good. I like that. I like it. I like it. Even in the comments, Jocelyn said, decisiveness is important,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So is this still a thing? Is this still a thing where like say a guy wants to take you out, given this whole thing about intentional and decisiveness, do you want him and give us the game here? Do you want him to plan the date? Do you want buy-in? Like what's kind of your thoughts around that? Like how intentional does he need to be even in those practical everyday things?
Plan the date. Ask me, am I available? And get my availability. After that, it's on you. Plan the date. If you want to get to know me, plan the date. That's how I see it. I like that. That is attractive to me. And it shows me that you're the type of man that I'm interested in getting to know further.
That's good. Portia, I hope they're listening. Oh, I hope they're listening.
Absolutely.
That is so good. That's so good. That totally makes sense too. That's so oh, so okay. So Leah said, for so many, the waiting process is a struggle. What do you do while you are waiting for that right relationship?
Good question. And Leah is right. The waiting process can be a struggle. This is not something, I'm not telling you something that I just knew. It was something that I had to learn. But in the waiting room, I'm focusing on myself, just realizing things that I like to do um,
Mm,
outside of being a doctor, outside of being a daughter, outside of being a friend. What is it that I'm interested in? And that's what I focus on. So it's not like I'm sitting there twiddling my thumbs, waiting on someone to find me. I am active, working on myself. Self improvement, I like to say as well. I read a lot of books, going out to different activities and functions with my friends, networking, things of that nature, just keeping myself busy because I've heard, they tend to come when you least expect it. So,
that's real right there.
yeah.
That that's real. Like that's a big part of Leah and I's story. Same thing. Like like same type thing where
Hmm.
like she was really busy. She was doing things. She was making moves corporately, all that kind of stuff. And so the way our paths crossed, so in such an intentional way of how God did it, like
Yeah.
her being ready and me being ready, and we were able to put it together, and it just worked from
Yes.
there. So now that totally makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. That does. I like it already. I like it. Okay. Okay, this is good, and I'm loving the comments y'all dropping in. Keep dropping them in. This is that's really good. That's really good. Let me ask you this. I know you're gonna throw some questions at me as well, but let me ask you this:
Okay.
what are for you, given those things, what are deal breakers
Deal breaker.
in a
Okay.
relationship?
In a relationship. I feel like I am a very probably too understanding of a person. So there is no reason to lie to me about anything. I guess
Mhm.
maybe if you're trying to surprise me or something, but to lie to me about something that if you told me, I would probably more than likely be very understanding of, I do not like that. Of course, cheating, and that goes back to being dishonest as well, and any sort of physical abuse, even verbal abuse, not tolerated.
Major. Major, major. That I think that's huge. I tell you, Portia. One of the things as I'm doing premarital counsel often with
Hmm.
people or someone who's thinking about getting serious in a relationship, they'll call me and we'll talk about it, and oftentimes mention to them, hey, you have to be clear on what your deal breakers are. If
Yeah.
not, you'll get into deeper into this relationship if you haven't clarified, hey, this is of value to me. This means a lot to me. This is important. If that hasn't been made clear, man, once your feelings and all that get wrapped up in
Hmm.
something and you find yourself going down a road you never meant to go down, like even that can be deceiving to the other person because they never saw that coming. Um,
Hmm.
I think that's incredible that you shared that. That makes sense, and you already know what yours are, and you're clear on them. So that's on point.
Yeah.
That's on point.
On that. We'll
That's good. That's good. I
So I
think
have a question for you. Oh, is there a
absolutely.
question in the
Go
chat?
ahead.
Okay. So whose relationship are you most inspired by and why?
Mm. Now or previous.
Whenever.
So for me, I'll speak to it for like me prior to Leah.
Hmm.
Right when I knew that I wanted to be married. I knew I wanted a family. Right. This may sound weird to some. I would be out. It could be Starbucks. It can be the grocery store. It can be in my corporate job I was working at the time.
Okay.
Portia, I would see people who were already married and older, and I would stop them and ask them questions about their relationship. They can be 60 years old. So it didn't matter to me. I would see them, and if they even somewhat looked happy, there were no cell
Mhm.
phones out on the table at dinner. They were actually looking at each other, holding hands. I would stop them and I would ask them, hey, what are some keys to your relationship? So for me, honestly, those kind of things were like my guideposts
Yeah.
for what I wanted to see as success. Because online, you don't really know like celebrities or what have you to be able to see the real deal. And
Yeah.
so these strangers for me, they had no reason to lie to me, no
Mhm.
reason. And
Yeah.
so when I tell you, I did that for like a strong 2 years minimum.
Wow.
When I say they gave me so much information, I would take it, write it, apply it. So for me, that those were my guideposts along the way, and they inspired me that someone had to be out there that I could have that with as well.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I think I strongly believe this, and fellas, if y'all with me here, talk to me in the comments. When you get to the point where you two know what you want, you're not going to allow anything to stop you from making that happen. Like there's just that part built into us that
Yeah.
says pursue. that says be relentless, that says you will make sacrifices and whatever changes are necessary in order to uh, serve, and the word is key, serve and sacrifice for the other person so that she's in a better position than she was before she met you.
Yes, love it.
Yeah, like if I believe this, and tell me your thoughts here. I believe this is that when you get into a relationship, if that person does not help you, if that person does not elevate your life, like you're in a better place than you were before them,
Hmm.
something's off. Like your life should be better,
Yes,
like because they're now in it.
exactly. I agree.
Yeah,
Yes, that's like one of my life mottos is to leave people better than I found them.
that's
That's
man.
what I strive to do. And not in just in romantic relationships, personal relationships. You know, me, of course, being a doctor, I hope to do that, being your doctor as well. But that's what I strive for in life.
That's good. That's good, and I like it. I like there's a thing that came out yesterday. I was mentioning in the message of Jacob made a point to pursue Rachel and to when she was having the when it was time for the flock to be watered, he did something so intentional, Portia, is that he made sure the other shepherds left. He wanted them to go away so that
Hmm.
he could even have time with her. And the work that other people should have been involved in rolling the stone away from this well to water the flock, he went and did it himself in order to show her, like, I am willing to do what it takes to be close to you.
Yes,
I think that the principle of that still very much applies
yes,
like today. Like you'll make room in your schedule. You will do whatever when it comes to I found someone worth like that whole thing is major and their life should be better because you're in it.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree wholeheartedly.
I would love to hear your thoughts on this. It's a question in here. Jamie said this: are you open to blue collar men, or does he have to be on the same educational level as you? I see this kind of question all the time.
That's a
What
good
are your
question.
thoughts?
That is a good question. To answer to just flat out answer the question, yes, I am open to that for sure. It's so funny because I was asked this question a couple hours ago. That's so funny. But the person gave me a scenario, a blue collar man that treats me right, or a man with a certain amount of money that I have to question his integrity. Which one would I choose? And I'm like, I'm choosing the person who's going to treat me right. Everything else we can work on. Um, I want to be, I demand to be treated a certain way, and that's it. That is most important to me. Someone who loves me, is not afraid to show it, someone who respects me, um, honors me. Everything else we can work on for sure. I am a hustler, so we're gonna have some money. I'm not worried about
That's good. That's good. I want to give what you just said, especially I'm a hustler. We're gonna make this thing happen. So let me paint a picture real quick. Tell me how you respond to this. Right.
okay.
So say this gentleman he works at a local factory, a local warehouse, local warehouse. He makes I don't know. He makes $30,000 a year. He
Mhm.
has vision. He wants to do more, but he just hasn't accomplished it yet. But he goes to work every day, works really hard. He makes $30,000 a year. He has the values that you're talking about.
Mhm.
So from what I hear you saying is he has a shot with you.
If he wants more, then yes, he does. Absolutely. Yes.
Uh,
If he desires more, yes.
that's major. What does that? What does that? Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I'm scared.
So like, how do you? how do you date him, support him, all that kind of good stuff, without him feeling like a project? Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. Um, Ooh, to be quite honest with you, I don't know if I've mastered that yet. Like, it's definitely not my intention. I'm gonna be honest. It would never be my intention, but I don't know if I've mastered that. You have any advice with you being a man, how
Yeah,
a woman should proceed in that type of situation?
yeah. I think for maybe not every man, but for many men,
Mm-hmm.
it's tough when you have the value of being the provider, the protector, you know. It's tough for many men mentally to fathom, but you make more than me. So you're really the provider, not me. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Like mentally, it's just tough because you're
Yeah.
always taught you're, or you hear somewhere, you're the provider, you're the man, you look out for her. And so many times when it comes to men, money speaks power. Like if I have this, I can make things happen. I can, like, it's a very important value. Like, which is why when you see men talking, or when a man meets another man, well, I'll say it this way: when a woman sometimes meets another woman, they can talk about various things. Hey, are you single, girl? You want to get some coffee, girl? It's like that kind of thing, right? Many men, it begins with, what do you do? You're already sizing them up from like an income, what level are you on, a competition off the jump, right? And we get that from sports and everywhere else. And so I think the way that a woman can date a man so he does not feel like a project, is her understanding that, and that her language to him
Mm-hmm.
is key. Like you can you can make more than him, but there's something that a woman does with her language where she can unlock something in him that
Mm-hmm.
speaks to not the boy, excuse me, not just the boy, but also the king inside of him at the same time. And when the woman can fit, not for every man, but for the man she truly loves and cares about, when
Yeah.
she can unlock that in him, his potential, like it goes crazy because she's spoken to an area, and this is key, that no one's ever touched before. And for him, there's no turning that off.
Mm-hmm.
He'll do anything. He'll do anything to provide and do whatever at that point. And then Portia, his mind opens up to other possibilities. I could be an entrepreneur and go do this. I can go learn this skill and go do this. And when the woman's like, you sure can. And matter of fact, not saying, hey, what do you need from me? But saying, all right, cool. What's your idea? Let's write it down. You know what? Tomorrow, let's go and do, like, her walking through it with him. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's her. Listen, you be wiped up in no time. With ladies, I'm
Okay.
telling you, this thing works. But yeah,
Take some notes.
that part, that language part is nothing
So
like
speak life into your partner. Wow.
it. And you take that and you walking with him, and
Mm-hmm.
and you are building the plan together, and it all, oh man, nothing like it. Nothing like it. Nothing. We haven't got into this, but I'll even say this back part with that as well.
Okay.
When a woman does that with the person who really values it, I said that first. When he really values it, right?
Mm-hmm.
She won't have to worry about him having eyes for somebody else because of what you all are building together.
Yes.
But he has to value that. Like some dudes are like, you know what? All right, you helped me blow up. I'm out. I'm out now. But the reality is, many of them didn't truly value what you were doing in the first place. You were a
Exactly.
come up for them, and guys can smell the come up easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. That was a really long answer, but did
It
that
was a good one.
make
It
sense?
was a good one. For sure. Okay, I have a question for you.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about issues in relationships because everything isn't always, peachy. It isn't always great. There are some struggles. So you're in a relationship and you're going through a relationship problem, excuse me. Who under no circumstance do you share this with and why?
That's a phenomenal question. Who, under no circumstances, married or single,
Let's just answer it generally. Yeah.
generally,
Yeah.
if so, generally, you don't. And this may sound crazy, but just being honest, I wouldn't share it with if I was serious about the person or getting serious. I
Hmm.
wouldn't share it with. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it. We
Say
have
it,
to be
say it.
careful with how we share with people. Two dynamics. One is our parents. The other is any person that we've been in relationship with in the past.
Ooh, okay. Yes.
Because one's like so I said parents first because we have to be careful there because many parents still see you as their baby. And
Yes.
if you tell them something is wrong and then you know what I'm saying and say so, okay, here it is. So say you tell your parent, right, what happened and it's a
Hmm.
problem.
Yep.
You and that person move on. Y'all get better, y'all good. When your
Yes.
parents see that person, they're not thinking about how everything is good.
They're
That's
not letting that go.
really that part. So we
Yes.
gotta be careful with that, like careful with
Absolutely.
that. And then I think the other piece is just that like that outside person you had you were rocking with before. Man, that I've seen that be so dangerous so many times.
Okay. So speaking of that, how close should you keep someone when you're in a serious relationship? I'm going to say, how close should you keep a former flame? What do you think is a safe distance? I'll put it that way.
Yeah. From I'm only gonna speak for Alex here, right? When it comes to who, if this you said serious, which is a great
Serious.
right. For me, when we're serious, anybody from the past, that from
Hmm.
like they need to go. Like there's no room for them. Like there's no room for that at all. Like
Yes.
because mentally I want to know, hey, you're really here. You're not just here, but just have eyes somewhere else. And so there needs to be a clean break in order to really have a new beginning. I think
Hmm.
many times what we do is we date with stipulations. Like I'm dating you, but if it doesn't go right, I still have this other person that I can, you know what I'm saying? The fallback
Yep.
plan.
Yep. That's not cool.
Uh-uh.
It's
Not at
not cool.
all. Not at all. How about like same question? How do you approach that?
Okay, so if I have to be honest, which I'm going to be, when I think about it, I think about it like, well, I know the type of person I am, and I know that I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't cross that line. I wouldn't be disrespectful. But just listening to your response, if I want to truly have something with someone else, it needs to be a clean break, honestly. So even though I know my intentions or how I would carry myself. I can't speak for the other person, and I'm not sure with keeping that door cracked. It's always a potential for something. So, like you said, it has to be a clean break, and you just have to go your separate ways. You can wish them well, but yeah.
That's major. That's major. As you shared that, like this analogy came to mind. I know you're a former athlete. You ran
Hmm.
track, major athlete, even D1 athlete. You know how it is with like say you're a part of one team, one sports team, right? and so you get traded or you transfer schools or whatever, you
Uh-huh.
don't run for both schools.
Nope.
You got to separate from the old in order to fully buy. You can't be at the new school but still practicing with the old school and running their plays. Don't work that way.
Wearing the old school shirt. Can't do that.
And so I think in relationships, we do that. Like we have on a nice attire, but we're still wearing the merch and the gear from the previous relationship under our clothes.
True. So true.
Yeah.
I've done
So,
that before.
and at
Yeah.
some point, the new person can smell it, and they're like, "Man, you're." It doesn't feel like you're fully here. It feels
Hmm.
like you're always possibly, and I think the other person can really feel that, and it can easily be a turnoff as
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. There, there's a. I saw something here earlier too, Portia. I want to ask you about. It was
Okay.
where is it? Wendell asked this. There it is. Thank you, Isaiah. What about? hold on. What about he has an early go get it? Okay, so he has a early go get it attitude, but physically can't strive for what he wanted in the beginning. I'm not sure. Wendell, do me a favor. We word that for me. I think I may be missing one key thing in there. 'Cause I think this is a really good question, Wendell. I think I missed a part of the question here. Or portion. Are you good with answering that?
It seems like perhaps something's missing, but the first thing came to mind was me. It seems like this person may lack vision. And if you don't have vision, you're not going anywhere, regardless. So it doesn't matter what comes out of your mouth in the beginning. If you truly don't have vision, that's what happens. You fizzle out. So that seems like that
Cool.
person doesn't have vision. And that's not a person who's ready for a relationship, in my opinion.
Yeah. This I'm so glad you said this. I'm so glad you said this about this. Okay, so what happens if I see this all the time with people who call me and they be like upset about relationships a lot, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
that what if a woman says, I want you to have vision to the man, right?
Mm-hmm.
In his mind, what he has is vision, but it's not on par with what she says the vision. Like how do you how do you navigate that?
That is tough right there. First of all, you have to kind of start at the ground level. What is vision? What does vision mean to you? Do you have vision where you can see across the street? Or are you looking further down? You have to make that clear because sometimes it's just where maybe someone's seeing a big overall picture and someone's very detail oriented. So you have to kind of have those conversations and figure out what that means to you and kind of build from there. That's what I think.
That's good. So do you believe that I'll just say this amongst your primary circle of friends, right?
Mhm.
If they were in that same scenario, do you feel like your friends are are equipped to help cultivate like the vision that a man may have? Like, do you not even equipped? Do you think they know how to deal with that? Like, if his vision isn't on par, like can they speak to it to help it elevate, or do you think most people are like, I don't got time to be helping you do all that. Like, you need to come with it already, at least together. Like, your thoughts around that?
Okay, so you say that I don't have time for all of that. You should come to me with it until feelings get involved, until you care about that person. And your desire is for that relationship to keep going and growing. And you run into that roadblock because you guys are off on that level. So then you want to start working on it. But do you have the skills? Do you know how to do it? So it may be something that ladies, we men too, we want to work on prior to actually facing that situation. Learning how, as we spoke before, speak life into someone to, kind of motivate someone without them feeling like you're talking down to them as well. And also having those conversations to make sure you and your partner are on the same page. So I hear both sides. I work with somebody, or he has to come like this, but all of that is out the window when you truly care for someone, because you'll do the things that you said you'll never do. So
That's so good. And that's the truth too. Like that right there is so real. I see that all the time.
yeah.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. Wow. Mm. You by the way, you nail it with these questions. Like these questions are on point.
Yes, they are.
This is good. This is good. This is
Okay,
good.
I have a question for you, Pastor Alex.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned from previous relationships?
Ooh, from previous relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the big lessons. One would definitely be you like being. I'm trying to make sure I word this properly. Being clear on the values piece,
Mm-hmm.
like what you're willing to like that the whole like deal breakers piece is big. And when you don't know, when you aren't growing in who you are as a person, I think it makes relationships a lot more difficult
Mm-hmm.
because you will allow them to dictate the terms and conditions, and before you know it, you sign a contract that you're like, why did I sign up for? What is going
How
on?
did I be here? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when you have the heart to please people, if you have your own insecurities, which all of us do to some degree on certain things,
Mm-hmm.
and that other person taps into, or you expose what that is, and they manipulate it to their advantage. I think a lot of that comes from like that whole identity piece, values, knowing what the like that piece, and even a growing maturity. I think those things are big things that I've learned just in like all those years of dating. Like that, those things are just big lessons that I learned just over the years. Like
Yeah.
you have to be clear with people, even if you aren't, I you haven't quote unquote arrived yet. You have to be working towards it, working on self, as you said earlier. That part is key. If not, you will get lost in trying to please them, and that
Mm-hmm.
relationship going nowhere.
Yep. So true.
Yeah, yeah. Great question. Same one. Same one. Same question. That's a great question.
Back at me, huh?
Yeah.
Um, for me, um, it would probably be, and this is something that I'm currently, it'll be an ongoing process, but not bringing things from past relationships into a new one. And what I mean by that, even in life, if we try something, let's go back to when we were a kid and you touched the hot stove. Well, you only had to do it one time and you knew, okay, I'm going to get burned. And that was not a pleasant feeling. So sometimes when we go into new relationships, we notice that, well, that person didn't like to communicate a lot or something like that. And before even getting to know this new person, you decide, well, because that person didn't like it, I'm only going to communicate with this person halfway,
Mm,
you know? And I had to really call myself out on that. I was doing things like that. Like, oh, this person said I was too inquisitive. I asked too many questions. Well,
mm,
let me not ask this new person too many questions. Well, what if this person wants or likes questions? You know what I'm saying? And you've kind of eliminated that aspect of your relationship and your growth with that person because you were tailoring to what someone else wanted or didn't like or whatever the case may be. So that's something as well. I'm learning to, everybody is a different person and you get to know that person and what that person likes. before trying to make that decision for them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. How given what you just shared, because that's so key what you just said, like how do you find yourself, say you're dating someone new, do you find yourself being very reserved in the beginning before you show them the other signs because you've seen so much? Like, I guess how much time does it take before they really get to see like who you fully are as a person?
Yeah. So I have a tendency to be a tough cookie to crack, so to speak. I've had people who I dated that said, I had no idea you even liked me, which is not a good thing. So I have a lot to kind of get through, which I am working on for sure. But it does take some time, honestly. But just to throw that out there, if I'm conversing with you, I kind of like you because I don't talk to everybody. But yeah, so I do. It does take a while because of what you've been through. You kind of that self preservation mode kicks in, and you want to preserve self. So you don't want to give or uncover so much just in case it doesn't work. But that's not the right. I think that's not the right mindset to have, and that's something that I am working on. And if you are going to put yourself out there to be open to love, then you're going to have to be open to all the possibilities that could come with love, which unfortunately is heartbreak. But if you're going to put yourself out there, you can't be 50-50. You got to be 100%.
That's facts right there. All the way facts, all the way facts. I tell you, given what you just shared, this is something honestly I have. Well, I share it at times. I haven't shared it a whole lot. Is that I think in order to be successful in that arena, and I hope you all can hear this, um, and receive as well, is that if you're going to follow truly like the plan of God for your life and relationships, a, a key element that I think we oftentimes either overlook or don't put enough time into is like the time of dwelling with God, being alone with Him, prayer in His Word, like seeking Him. Like when Jesus comes into the earth, He states it many times, I am doing what the Father has shown me. And so He's able to navigate the challenges of relationships to perfection because he's so aligned with who God is. And so you'll find that with other people would question his identity or try to deviate him from the plan that the Father is executing through him, you will notice he never allowed people to pull him away from the assignment at hand. And I think many people cannot handle when a person is focused to that degree until it's the right person. And those people get it and they lock in on it and they want to go with it. And so the gift of dwelling with God, single, married, doesn't matter. And then what you are getting from that time, you apply it to life. You communicate, you listen, you whatever it is, but it's coming from this consistent place of dwelling with God, executing, dwelling with God, executing. It changed everything for me, Portia, everything, and it still does. Like
Yeah.
when I'm not dwelling well, I'm gonna be honest, I don't listen well.
Hmm.
Alex starts to show up more and more and more, and my relationships get thrown off every time. And so that dwelling piece and staying in that consistent place with the spirit, it changes everything when it comes to dating, married, regular, whatever it is, relational wise. It's changed everything for me.
Yes,
Yeah,
that is so important for sure.
yeah, yeah. That's good. That's
Sorry,
good.
could you
Do
say that
you
again?
do you have time for one more question I have for you?
Yes, of course.
So let's see. I missed a question over here. Yes. So my 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 question is this is so it actually goes off to one you asked me prior to us going live tonight. If you were like could imagine, hey, I want to be in this place in 5 years, right? Can you describe what that place looks like? Like, what does life look like potentially for
In
Dr.
my
Portia
life.
Bailey 5 years from now?
Okay, Dr. Portia Bailey is a wife, a mother. I'm doing more entrepreneur things. I am still in medicine because that, of course, is my passion. But I don't think I necessarily want to become rich off of my passion. I will say that. There's other things that I think that I can do that can be lucrative, but I just want to help people from my heart, you know? So I would be exploring things like that. Like right now, I am starting a book club. So in my mind, in 5 years, this is the best book club ever, honestly. um, that's popping. Probably getting into real estate and hearing good things about real estate as well. So exploring more things there. Of course, staying close to God for sure, making sure that all throughout those 5 years, dwelling like you spoke of just a while ago, is never forgotten for sure. Continuing to walk with God and building my relationship with God, and happy, honestly.
That's so good. That's so good. You said something that I already know I want to do a part two of with you, which
Okay.
is I think it's phenomenal to hear and for others to hear you say, here's a doctor, right? A doctor that says, yes, I still have a passion for this, yet there are still other things that I can see myself going into other business, investment, etc. opportunities outside of this career that can provide for me financially. There's still more that I want. I think for people to hear that is so big because some people will say, "Man, if I can make what a doctor makes, man, I'll be good." But for them to hear a doctor say, "No, there's something else that I still want to tap into," like I think that part was I heard that. I'm like, oh, that right there, that's major. Say it again.
I said, let's explore it next time.
Absolutely, I'm with it. I'm with any for your from your end. Any just like final like thoughts, last takeaway, anything at all that you would just share from your mind tonight.
Ooh, we talked about so much. I learned so much. I like to just reiterate the part about speaking life into your partner for sure. I think that is so important. A lot of times we're not aware of even not even what we say, but the tone, the way we deliver things. It can have an impression on someone, and it may not be positive. So just being mindful of that. And my goal for this year, 2022, is to be love, exude love, because that's what I wish to receive in return. And I want to be it. Well, I am it. There we go.
That's so good. I love how you're just even with that, like in that correction, how you are speaking that out of your mouth. Like I am this. Not I will be like I am that. That the way I've heard you do that a couple of times, that's key. Like I am this. I'm not trying to no, I this is what I am doing. This is who I am. I think that's absolutely phenomenal. And you I could tell you've ingrained the thought of I'm going to speak life even over myself at this phase, and I think it's incredible.
I can't do it to someone else if I don't do it to me first. So
That's it. That's it. That's it. Listen to every person in the chat right now. Listen, if you have something that you even desire to ask of Dr. Bailey, listen, drop it in the comments. Send us a DM. I think we may have to do a part two. Like I think she is absolutely incredible. I think she offers so much value. And I've enjoyed tonight too. I think your insight, your wisdom, your poise is just key for, I think, many other people to hear. When I say your transparency, they're asking about the name of the book club. Is that something that's open? Is that
Yes. The website is, we have the website. It'll be up and running in a couple weeks, but it's called Black Cover Girl Book Club.
nice name?
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I dig. And
Yeah.
this is something that you're starting.
I'm starting, me and my cousin. As I shared with you before, last year I went through a breakup. It was caught me off guard, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't kind of sit in that, because we can get stuck in situations. So I started reading books, and I've read so many books during this time period, and it brought me so much joy. And I just wanted to share that with other people, and get other people to read. Honestly.
That's good. That's good. Can you drop that name one more time, Isaiah? Can you put it in the chat? Can you share the name again?
Yes, Black Cover Girl Book Club.
Got it. That's so good. That's so
Yes.
good. Wow, they show you love in the comments. I love it. I love it. That's
Thank
so good.
you.
That's so good. Yes. Yes. Again, you all have questions that we didn't answer tonight. Make sure you put them in the comments or send us a DM. Again, I know that we have to do a part two for sure. Also, with this, before we wrap tonight, if there's if you desire to continue to support and partner with this ministry, like we are committed to during this reset to provide different types of content that can just elevate the overall well-being. And so, whether it is from directly from the Word of God, be a Bible study, text by text, whether it's financial, relational, health, physical health, whatever it is, we are committed to providing that resource to all of us to make sure it comes from the right perspective, right? So if you are down, you're like, hey, I am continuing to partner with this church. The giving information will be on the screen. Take a moment, partner, give, support. This is what we do. This is how we can change the game. Let's be a big support to Dr. Bailey. She's been man, for a few months now, been rocking, showing up on the onlines, all that kind of good stuff. And so I hope that you heard her tonight, and she's added so much value. And so make sure y'all tap in with her. Portia, can you share even like your Instagram handle, Facebook,
Yes.
all that good stuff?
So my Instagram is Luxury Portia. Luxury spelled the way it's spelled, and my first name Portia, Porscha, and my Instagram Portia J Bailey.
That's good.
I
That's
mean
good.
my Facebook. Sorry.
Facebook, I like it. I like it. I like it. Make sure y'all go follow her, show her love. Again, I'm telling y'all, like, man, she's incredible, and she's obviously you all can see tonight she's good at what she does as well. And so, listen, I want to pray for you all in just a moment here as well. I'm actually giving and tapping in, even imparting with this ministry as well. God, we thank you for tonight. Thank you for Max Monday. Thank you for this concept. I pray, God, that as people watching even via the replay, Facebook, YouTube, they're able to hear you speaking through our voices tonight with clarity. I pray, God, that it's not just heard and observed, but it's understood and it's put into action as we grow more in you, through you, to fully become and fulfill the purpose of God and the plan of God for our lives. God, thank you so much for this night, all that you are, for every person who is connecting, deciding to be a part of this community, for giving, for learning. God, it takes a village, God, to do effective ministry, impactful ministry, God. So thank you for people connecting as we just grow and just follow you. God, we love you, we honor you, and we worship you. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you again. You were
Yeah.
incredible tonight. Y'all show
Thank
her
you for
love.
having me.
Absolutely. Next Monday. Check it
Yes.
out. Love y'all. Y'all have a great night.
Good night.